Family, welcome to Sacred Spaces Advanced School of Ancestral Communication. I am Queen Carlenia Springer, and we are going back to reclaim our identity as Afro-Rakanu and Afro-Kaitnut African Black people, regardless of where you find us in the world, regardless of our ethnicity. We are the mothers and fathers of humanity, and we are connected at our roots. Without the roots, there are no fruits. Without the roots, there are no fruits. And so we are going back in the Sri language of of the Akan people in Ghana. That process of going back is called Sankofa. Sankofa. And it says if you forget, there's a ebe, a proverb that goes along with the symbol of this bird that's flying forward, but is looking back with an egg in its mouth. And the proverb says, if you forget and you return to your ancestral past to remember, it is not taboo. And taboo in our culture is described as evil, as disorder. And so we are going back to reclaim what they tried to erase. You see, what they tried to erase, we came to restore. So I want you, as I begin to share information, I want you to begin to share the information with someone. I mean, like actually have a conversation about something that I said. Because the thing is that we're putting the pieces of ourselves back together. And each of us has a part of our story. It's not just the outside information. Our culture is inherited, it is spiritually inherited. We are spirits first before we come into this body. And so, even as you begin to share this information and discuss it, you have to know that you're going to have awarenesses of your own based on your past experiences, based on information you have come across. You see, in the book of Coming Forth by Day, that the whites and their offspring called the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You see the difference in that name. It's called the Pert M Heru, but the translation is literally the Book of Coming Forth by Day. With In that book, it says, in those texts, there's a text that says, I have come to speak the truth and to set the scales of justice in their proper place among those who have no voice. So we are rebalancing the scales. The scales are being rebalanced, but it's not being rebalanced from the outside in, it is being rebalanced from the inside out. And so we have to cleanse our minds, we have to cleanse ourselves of the lies that we were told. We cannot be afraid to look at truth, because this is what evil uses to manipulate our minds. Okay, if you're in a relationship, let's say you're in a narcissistic relationship, you know how you see that person change. Like the personality literally changes. There's a person that you know that perhaps is kind and loving to you, and the next second they can flip off and be the most evil thing that you have encountered. Just like somebody who drinks and their personality changes. We're dealing with spirits. We're dealing with vessels that are literally wide open for any spirit that passes through to come and to take a hold of. And we too have these gaps, these places in our spirit where we are unprotected because we have not adhered to the culture, simply because of a lack of ignorance. But then there's some of us who, because of our conditioning, because of what we've been given, the cognitive dissonance, literally information the information that we're taking in, the truth that we're taking in, is clashing, violently clashing with our reality. And because we cannot take that, we cannot, we feel like we cannot take that, we will fight against truth. But if you consider yourself to be righteous, you cannot fight against truth and then claim to be righteous, or be seeking to move in a righteous manner. Our our entire existence right here has been one that has been full of lies and misinformation. And especially at this time, we have a right and we have a responsibility to rebalance the scales. We have a right and a responsibility to protect ourselves, but we cannot protect ourselves if those scales are imbalanced, if we are not seeing clearly. And in order to see clearly, we have to cleanse our ears so we can hear. We have to cleanse our eyes so that we can see, our sense of smell, our sense of taste, right? Um, we have to cleanse our mind. We have to cleanse our senses so that we can see what we're looking at in its reality. If you're a soldier and you are supposed to do reconnaissance, okay, and you come back with false information, and your regiment is to protect a certain segment of the population, your false information will get people killed. There is a war going on against you, whether you want to believe that or not, whether it's personal to you or not, regardless of what you consider your religion to be, regardless of what you consider your religion to be, people see who you are first by the color of your skin, right? And they judge you by this, regardless of their misjudgments. If we don't understand that we have an enemy, and if we don't protect ourselves, we continue to succumb to this enemy, then then we are the blind leading the blind, and we have a right and responsibility to leave this world in a better condition for our children. We have a right and a responsibility to investigate our religious history, our actual history, our spiritual history, because for many of us, we don't even know how intertwined that religious story that we have been given and the political domination and subjugation that we have been under for so long. We don't know how those things are connected. But the one thing you do know is that you have family. You have ancestors and ancestresses who lived and died, who lived very good lives, maybe a long time ago. And they left their legacy written in stone for us. And the last time they did it in the most complete way ever was about 5,000 years ago. And they did it because they knew something was coming down the pike that threatened to erase our memory. So when one of us comes to you or to your family and shares information that goes against what you have been trained and conditioned to believe, the best way that you can protect yourself and protect your family, protect your children and your grandchildren, is to listen, to open your ears to listen, to swallow your desire to fight back based on things that you don't even know. Because the reality is, you don't even know your true name. We don't. Many of us, most of us, do not know our true names because we carry the names of our open enemy. And in carrying those names, we literally carry a discordant set of sound vibrations that when we are moving towards a certain goal, it literally gets in the way. Our true name is always emanating from us. But when we're answering to something other than that name because of what has been stolen, we're literally lying about who we are. And so some of the walls that we're facing, it's not because of the things that we can see. It's literally because of the connections that we don't see. And I'm going to do a part two to this, because again, I want you to begin to share the little bit of information you know. You know what? Even if the information we share is not 100% accurate, even if it's not 100% accurate, it begins to cause you to think and to question things that you would just normally accept. We cannot leave this to our children when we know today they have banned and they are banning books. They are removing the names of our contributions off of monuments, just a little bit that we have. So I'm gonna do a part two to this, and Yeah, let me do that now. Ashe.